Okay, here it goes. Early life and education. Donald Jasper Harris was born in Brownstown, St. Ann Parish, Jamaica, the son of Oscar Joseph Harris and Earl Christie Harris Finnegan, Finnegan, who was Afro-Jamaicans. As a child, Harris learned the catechism, was baptized and confirmed in the Anglican Church, and served as an acolyte. Harris' parental grandmother, born Christina Brown, told Harris that she was descended from Irish-born plantation owner Hamilton Brown, 1776 to 1843, who founded a local Anglican church where she is buried. Hamilton Brown owned at least 1,120 slaves, most of them on sugar plantations in St. Ann Parish, and was instrumental in the importing of several hundred laborers and their families from Ireland to Jamaica between 1835 and 1840. Harris grew up in Orange Hill area of St. Ann Parish near Brownstown and graduated from Titchfield High School. He studied at the University College of West Indies, earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of London in 1960 and a PhD from the University of California, Berkeley, 1966. His doctoral dissertation, Inflation, Capital Accumulation, and Economic Growth, a theoretical and numerical analysis, was supervised by recommendation Daniel McFadden. His career. Harris was an assistant professor at the University of Illinois at Urbana, Champaign from 1966 to 1967, and at Northwestern University from 1967 to 1968. He moved to the University of Wisconsin, Madison, as an associate professor. In 1968 to 72, he joined the faculty of Stanford University as professor of economics and became the first black scholar and granted tenure in Stanford Development of Economics. At various times, he was a visiting fellow in Cambridge University and Delhi School of Economics, and visiting professor at Yale University. He served on the editorial boards of the Journal of Economic Literature and the Social and Economic Studies. He is a longtime member of the American Economic Association. Harris directed the Consortium Graduate School of Social Sciences at the University of West Indies in 1986 to 87, and he was a Fulbright Scholar, Brazil, in 1990 and 1991. And in Mexico, in 1992 to 1998. He retired from Stanford, becoming a professor emeritus. At Stanford, Harris doctoral students have included Stephen Fazari, a professor of economics at Washington University in St. Louis, and Robert A. Bleeker, professor of economics at the University of Washington, D.C. He helped to develop the new program in alternative approaches to the economic analysis as a field of graduate study. For many years, he also taught the undergraduate course Theory of Capitalist Development. He took early retirement from Stanford in 1998 in order to pursue his interest in developing public policies to provide economic growth and advance social equity. All right. Contributions to economic analysis and policy. Harris's economic philosophy was critical of mainstream economics and questioned orthodox assumptions. The New York Times described him as a prominent critic of mainstream economic theory from the left. Harris's research and publications have focused on exploring the process of capital accumulation and his implementations for economic growth, arguing that economic inequality and uneven development are inevitable properties of economic growth in a market economy. Harris is said to work in the tradition of post-Keynesian economics. He has acknowledged the works of Juan Robinson, Maurice Dobb, Harriswho, Michael Kalecki, Karl Marx, John Maynard Keynes, Joseph Schumpeter, and W. Arthur Lewis as influential upon his work. One of Harris's most notable contributions to economics is in his 1978 book, Capital Accumulation and Income Distribution, a critique of orthodox economic theory that provides an alternative synchronizing the work of David Ricardo Kalecki and Marx and Roy and Herod and others. Yeah, Herod, probably the King Herod. He employs mathematical modeling to explore the relationship between the accumulation of capital and income inequality economic growth, economic instability, and other phenomena, arguing that typical theories fail to adequately consider power, class, and historical context. Harris has done research on the economy of Jamaica, presenting analysis and reports on the structural conditions, historical performance, and contemporary problems of the economy, as well as developing plans and policies for promoting economic growth and social inclusion. Notable outcomes of this effort are the national industrial policy promulgated by the government of Jamaica in 1996 and the growth inducement strategy of 2011. Jamaica has in recent years been considered an economic success story. Yeah, but we don't hear about it, as it has achieved sustained economic growth and large reductions in public debt. So, yeah, because they freaking can't go into money to buy anything, so they don't freaking have no debt. Some allies attribute this success to the agreement that between Jamaica and the International Monetary Fund that was made possible through Harris's growth strategy for Jamaica. And he's got all these books he supposedly wrote, which I don't doubt. You don't want to get his personal life. If you want to do it, you can just look it up on Kamala Harris's dad, and you can find it on Wikipedia, but this just goes on to talk about her and all this great stuff she did, and all that junk. But what this amounts to is all this stuff, which this guy here, he's retired, and he's in his 80s now, so he lives in D.C. And I would bet that he is one of the people that has been messing with the economy, because it's this socialism, Marxist, brewhock, dumb hockey puck stuff. It's not really, because it's messing this country up. Which explains why all this stuff at the border and all this other crap. This is just crazy. But also I found this on there, is the neo-Marxism schools. Radical political economics. Let's go through all this crap. And down here, right here, there's his name, Donald J. Harris. So, I will leave links to that stuff if you want to read the rest of it or whatever. But I will leave links to that so you can do that. But let me tell you something. I'm not a rich person. I have Social Security and a little bit of SSI, which is not very much at all. And for the whole year, I make a little over $10,000 a year. And with that, I have to pay the rent. I have to pay all the other stuff. But I can tell you one thing. There is one reason I'm making it the way I'm making it. Is because of the Lord Jesus Christ. And by me listening to what He's told me at the beginning of everything starting and all the information that I'd had from years past and put it all together and have told people this stuff that YouTube doesn't want me to tell you. That it's as simple as that. Because you got people on YouTube swearing, saying the F word, F-bomb, and all this stuff. I mean, and this one guy, Prepper Now, I think his name is, was showing a video of the DNC, and on the walls they have F billionaires and something about distributing their wealth or something. It's really crazy in there. I'm telling you, these people are freaking Looney Tune. And I can't stand to listen to them because all they do is scream and holler. They had Biden in there at about 11:30 at night past his bedtime. He was screaming and ranting and raving like he always does and all this other stuff. And every time those people get up there and talk, that's what they do. It's not freaking regular speaking. It's yelling. Bernie Sanders was hollering. Do this, you know how they are. They just, oh my God. And then you got the protesters outside screaming Free Palestine, which drives me nuts. You know, and people, if they would realize that they need to talk to Netanyahu because he's the one that's doing it. You know, he's the one that keeps doing it. So, with that said, I just said, I don't know what else to tell people. I mean, if people haven't gotten prepared by now, they're going to be a really bad rude awakening, because I tried to tell my one daughter about the migrant situation and how they were getting paid by the government. And she said, no, they're not. And I tried to explain to her, well, no, just drop the subject. You know why? They voted for this. They voted for Biden and all this stuff. See, I told you, they will not admit to failure. They will not admit that they did something wrong. They will not admit to it. Now, I will sit here and tell you that there are Republicans that I do not like. I don't like Mike Johnson. I don't like Mitt Romney. I don't like Mitch McConnell. I don't like Pence. There's a lot of them. But I at least say it. I ain't scared to say it. You know, I see ignorant people when I see ignorant people. You know, and all this stuff is just, you know, they hit everything that the old man did, including the cocaine stuff, where they got rid of that. They cleaned up the FBI cleaned up the crime scene before anybody could take any DNA or anything like that from the blood. They sprayed down the frickin' dang. They let the eyewitnesses leave before they even talked to them. The autopsy was done within 10 days. They cremated him. They gave him to the family to cremate, without anybody, the Congress or anybody else, being able to see for themselves the wounds of the shooter and stuff like that. See, I told you there is something going on with that. And you can't tell me any different. You just can't, because I know better now. I know better about that cocaine thing, too. Well, we don't know who did it. Bull crap. Nobody can get past where that was without being inspected. You try it. See what happens. You get your pockets first and all that other stuff. Something going on with that stuff. But with that said, this is crazy. It's getting crazier every day, but just keep praying and just hold on, and something's got to give, and I hope it's soon. But with that said, God bless to all of you. Peace and love. Yeah.